We all have a date though. It was my first time in California. I didn't go out. I was here 2021. I never went out.
So I have I'm actually going back on the whole you. I just understood how
getting seated. We're going to start here in about 3 or 4 minutes. Thank you. If anyone is looking for a seat, we actually have a whole table right up front here. So if you're looking for a seat, come on down. Just a couple more minutes and we'll get rolling. Still a whole table in front if anybody needs a seat. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. Grateful to have you guys here. My name is Colin Hackman. I'm the board chair for the Coastal Horizon Center Board of Trustees, and I'd like to welcome all of you and let you know how honored we are to have so many of you here. Volunteers, employees, board members to celebrate Coastal Horizons at our annual meeting. I'm reminded of the incredible strength and dedication, the heart and soul of this organization, our employees and our volunteer board members. So a big round of applause for all of the folks who sweat, toil, and literally operate on the firing lines as the backstop in our community to so many different issues that come up on a daily basis. I know some of you might be wondering if I'm experimenting with a new skincare regimen, or if I've maybe am auditioning for the role of Lobster in season 4 of The Outer Banks. But truth be told, I'm undergoing a little treatment for some precancerous cells on my face, and my dermatologist said, this is what's happening, so this is what's happening. There's a small price to pay to get the opportunity to be with you guys here today. Decades ago, I was not in this role as a board member. I was in a different role at Coastal Horizon Center as a client. This goes way back, way back to the 1900s, actually. I was a young man who was troubled and in need of help, and Coastal Horizon Center answered my call when I was when I needed it the most. Their unwavering support and guidance marked a turning point in my life, and it showed me that the power of compassion and support was transforming lives. It was a good experience for me, my experience with Coastal Horizons. It deeply shaped my commitment for this organization, and today I stand before you not just as a board member, but as a testament to the impact of this organization, the Coastal Horizon Center, and to the wonderful work that these people do in this room. It doesn't just change lives, literally, the work that you do saves lives. And I just wanted to say thank you for that. Of course, Coastal Horizon Center is just a name. It's the employees that are the backbone of this organization. And it starts with our incredible CEO, Margaret Weller-Stargell, whose visionary leadership continues to guide us all the way through our seasoned professionals, managerial positions, people who are in the firing lines, helping us with all of the different work that we do, down to the interns that are just finding out how to be of service in behavioral health And it is awesome to see how many people choose this way of life. From people who know what they're doing to those learning the ropes, each person contributes to our shared mission with dedication, with passion, with commitment. Equally vital is the guidance of our all-volunteer board members who generously offer their time, their skills, their wisdom, steering us to greater heights and ensuring that our mission remains clear as we constantly move forward to achieve our goals. As we move forward, I would like to just ask everyone to continue to foster this culture of collaboration. When I'm at board meetings, I usually feel like the dumbest person in the room, and it's amazing because there's just so many great ideas that happen at that level. Together, I think that we can amplify our impact and reach more individuals and communities in need. It's also important to remember that we aren't just assisting anonymous folks. I don't have to say this to the employees, but we are extending our support to individuals like myself who've experienced the transformative power of Coastal Horizon Center. Each person we help has the potential to grow and to heal and to one day, like me, become a part of this incredible cycle of giving back. Our efforts today sow the seeds of a brighter tomorrow. We are not merely changing lives, we are nurturing future contributors. Individuals who, given the opportunity, have an opportunity to pay forward kindness and support that they receive, creating a ripple effect of positivity and empowerment in our communities. So I just wanted to thank you all for being a vital part of this journey. Your dedication and contributions enable us to provide not just assistance, but the possibility of a hopeful and meaningful future for all of those we serve. Thank you guys very much. At this time, the meeting is called to order. I would like to invite, well, first let me do introductions. Start off at our head table. To my far right is the Vice Chair of the New Hanover County Commissioners, Leanne Pierce. Flo Stein-Bolton, retired Chief Community College Policy Management, North Carolina Division of Mental Health, Developmental Disabilities, and Substance Abuse Services. Representative Deb Butler, North Carolina House of Representatives, representing Brunswick and New Hanover counties. New Hanover County Commissioner Jonathan Barfield. Margaret Weller-Stargell, our President and CEO. Senator Michael Lee, North Carolina Senate, representing New Hanover County. Representative Ted Davis, North Carolina House of Representatives, representing New Hanover County. The Honorable Sandra Ray, District Court Judge for the 5th Judicial District, serving Pender and New Hanover counties. And fresh off his re-election, Mayor Bill Saffo. At this time, I would like to call Commissioner Jonathan Barfield up for the invocation, and following this, lunch will be served.
Good afternoon, all. I am truly honored to be here to say a few words on behalf of the Lord. You know, today we're here to celebrate the work that's done at Coastal Horizons. Celebrate the many heroes that work there. Margaret Weller-Stargell, people like Kitty House, people like Ryan Estes, and all of you all that make the engine go, that save lives every day. This past Sunday, I preached a sermon, and part of it was out of Philippians chapter 4, verses 6, where the word says, "Be anxious for nothing, but in everything through prayer and petition with thanksgiving, make your request known to God. And He'll guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." Recognizing that the heart and the mind are the areas that can really affect the person the most. And I know you all health folks with substance disorders and mental health. And keep that in mind, to not be anxious for anything, but with prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, make your request known to God. With that, will you bow your heads with me? O Lord our God, how excellent is thy name in all the earth. Father, I thank you for the past and present leadership of Coastal Horizons. It was their leadership which brought us to this point. For the current leadership, I pray for the blessing of peace. They may gracefully accept the things they cannot change. Give them the blessing of courage. They might step up to the plate and make the difference that is so often challenging and demanding of us. Last but not least, give them the blessing of wisdom. The wisdom from their trials and errors and peers and colleagues, and the divine wisdom from you to know the difference. Now, Lord, bless this food. Please make it nourishing for our hearts, for service in your kingdom. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
And just before we eat, I missed our non-head table VIPs. I did also want to recognize the Honorable Robin Wicks Robinson, District Court Judge for the 5th Judicial District in New Hanover counties. Thank you. As well as Rob Zappel, New Hanover County Commissioner. Reverend Clifford Barnett, Wilmington City Council Member. Charlie Rivenbark, Wilmington City Council Member. Assistant New Hanover County Manager, Tafana Bradley. And last but not least, serving 2 roles today, the Chapel Hill Town Manager and Coastal Horizon Center Board Member, not Chief, but Town Manager, Chris Blue. All right, let's eat. Also wanted to recognize Stephanie Walker with the Board of Education, who's here with us today. So thank you very much.
They told me our newborn king to see. Our finest gifts we bring to lay before the king. This is to honor him. When we come, baby Jesus, I am a poor boy too. I have no gift to bring that's fit to give a king. What may I play for you? All very God, the ox and lamb kept time. I played my drum for him. I played my best for him. Then he smiled at me. He and
to call Judge Sandra Ray to the podium to do the swearing in of our board members.
Good afternoon. Thank you again, Margaret and Farrah, for allowing me to do this. This is wonderful. All right, please rise as I call your name and remain standing for the swearing in, please. Colin Macklin, Board Chair. Jennifer Cranford, Vice Chair. Chris Blue, Secretary. Henry Cherry, Treasurer. Margaret Weller Stargill, President and CEO. Dr. Angela Ballantyne. Dr. Heather Braithwaite. Jennifer Chrisham, Stephanie Dunn, Steve DiBiase, sorry, Dr. Kelly Evans, Shane Fernandez, who is also our new Thalian Hall. Holly Grange, Sandra Jaffe, Suzanne Neblett, Dr. Jennifer Pagliai, Connie Parker, Tom Potratz, Nancy Scott Finnan, Ryan Scoos. Now I'd like to ask all of the Coastal Horizon Board of Officers and Trustees to please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute my position on the Board of Trustees of Coastal Horizon Center, Inc., and I will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and uphold its missions and bylaws, so help me God. Congratulations.
All right, at this time I would like to recognize and introduce Senator Michael Lee and all of our remaining speakers after Senator Lee. Please just come on up and share with us. No need for reintroduction. So Michael Lee, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon. The last time I had the opportunity, sometimes I have to take this off because I move around and you probably can't see me on this podium because I'm a little shorter than most. The last time I got the opportunity to talk about Coastal Horizons was at a fundraiser, and I was able to talk about how great Coastal Horizons is and how amazing all of you are. But I realize this group already knows that, and I think that's why they gave me 2 minutes instead of 5 minutes to talk today. You don't see it on your schedule, but I've got 2 minutes. I think a lot of you know that the state has kind of stepped up and made an investment into Coastal Horizons from a capital perspective and then from a recurring funds perspective every single year. And that has to do with what you, the employees, do every single day, making a difference, not just in the lives of the people that you touch, but in our community. So that investment is not really an investment in Coastal Horizons. That investment is an investment in you. I know that each and every day, and I'm speaking directly to those of you who are the employees who are on the front lines. The board does a great job. Margaret's amazing. But those of you who are on the front lines every single day, working with people, are likely the only beacon of hope they have in what could be really the darkest point in their lives. And I know, and everyone else here knows, that your job is not easy. Your job is not one that when you leave the office at the end of the day, that you can leave your job at the office. You carry it with you at night, on the weekends, and you think about it all the time. So they asked me to come here as your state senator. So as your state senator, I can thank you on behalf of the state. I can thank you on behalf of the about 200,000 people that I represent, and I can thank you on behalf of our community. But I'm also here as a father, I'm here as a husband, and I'm here as someone who's lived in this community on and off since 1986. And so I want to thank you personally, to let you know that you've got my heartfelt gratitude for what you do every single day. And I think Colin mentioned the ripple effect. What you do does not just directly affect the people that you're working with. It has a positive ripple effect, I think, far beyond what you even imagine. So thank you very much for allowing me to speak today.
Thank you, Senator Lee. Your words were so nice, I won't point out that that was more than 2 minutes. Give a politician a microphone, and that's, you're asking for it. Hello, everybody. It is certainly my pleasure to be with you again this year. This morning, in preparation for coming here, I thought, I bet these people are kind of tired of seeing my mug up here every year, but the truth is, this is one of the few occasions I really enjoy, so I hope you'll indulge me when I say, I think it's important that you are reminded over and over again just how grateful this community is for you. And now that you're in more than 50 counties, I think the whole state has a heart of gratitude for you. Anyone who has ever navigated the mental health system, the substance use disorder system, as I have tried to do for my friends and family in various occasions, knows just what a morass it can be. And so having professionals who are in places to help and give confidence is critically important. I was looking at your website today also, and I noticed that all your materials bear the same brand. And that is that healthier lives, stronger families, and safer communities provided through evidence-based, I'll say that again, evidence-based wellness services to those in need. You just can't say it any better than that. Healthier lives, stronger families, and safer communities. So thank you, Coastal Horizons. Thank you, fearless leader, for all the hard work. Margaret, they say that you can judge a person by the company they keep. And I got to tell you, this crowd right here looks very, very good on you. Thanks, everybody. Happy holidays to all of you.
I'm Representative Ted Davis Jr. I represent House District 20. I want to thank Coastal Horizons for allowing me the opportunity to be here today and to speak briefly with you. Such a wonderful organization. I won't repeat what Senator Lee or Representative Butler said, but I want to tell you and give you an example of how the legislature tries to have your back. A few years ago, Tony McEwen from the city of Wilmington came to me and said, Ted, we are ranked nationally, if not number one, we are at the top of opioid use. And that's not something that makes you very proud. And he said, what I want to do, what the city is interested in doing, is open up a program called a pilot project to treat opioid abuse. And Coastal Horizons is going to run that program. But we need $250,000 a year to do this. I said, well, Tony, consider it done. So I went and filed a bill, talked to the appropriation chairs, got it in the budget. And we've been able to do that every session. And we do a biennium, so the budget has it for 2 years. But the problem was it being non-recurring is every 2 years you have to go back and go through this cycle all over again. So this year, I said there were 2 things I wanted to do. And that is, number one, I wanted to get rid of the pilot project. And let's make it a permanent project. Because we had enough years go by that, and it's such a tremendous program. It's been very, very successful. I said, so we got to track with it. So let's make it permanent. I said, the second thing is I want to try to do is make the funding to be recurring funding. which means you won't have to go during every budget process and go this song and dance again to get the money. So I filed a bill, taught the appropriation chairs. I'm a chair of appropriations for justice and public safety, and we put that under that so I could make sure that we got the funding. And the people that were on it from the House and the Senate knew when I went in, I didn't care much about what all we did as long as this was included, because it was so important. So it was funny, we were going through the appropriation aspect of it. I said, you know, so instead of $250,000, let's go with $300,000. I said, because you know, Coastal Horizons, they need more money to do this project, get the word out. And if you're not familiar with it, basically, if you or someone calls because you've had an overdose, they give you Narcan or whatever, this is a program that they offer you. It's voluntary. And it really helps to turn your life around. So the others said, well, okay, Davis, we'll go with that. We'll go through the other thoughts of the budget. So I just want to share with you how I'm so happy and proud of this, is that our budget did, number one, got rid of temporary, it's now a permanent project. Number two, recurring funding, and at $300,000 a year, not $250,000. So I just tell you this because I want you to know that the legislature has your back in any way that we can. Thank you all for being here today. I thank you for running such a wonderful organization. And I consider it a real privilege just to be able to address you all. So thank you very much.
Well, good afternoon. I'm Leanne Pierce. I'm the Vice Chair of the New Hanover County Board of Commissioners. I'm joined today by Commissioner Barfield and Commissioner Zappa are here with us today. You know, I look around the room and I see so many people who have made meaningful change in New Hanover County, and you're in this room today, and I want to thank you for that. We support Coastal Horizons, and the work that you do is truly amazing. The impact this organization makes in our community is remarkable, and every day you are changing lives and saving lives. As commissioners, we support that same vision, to foster a community where people can get the help that they need, to provide quality service for mental and physical well-being of everyone, no matter who they are and what their circumstances are. It is why community safety and well-being is one of the pillars of our recently adopted strategic plan that will lead the county through the following years. Coastal Horizons will continue to be a key partner to how our residents get the help they need to overcome challenges that they face. We know there is a need in this community, and we must all rise to meet that need. And I am grateful to have a partner like Coastal Horizons that is committing to helping the citizens of New Hanover County where it's needed the most. On behalf of New Hanover County and my fellow commissioners, we want to continue to support the mission of Coastal Horizons as we work to build a stronger New Hanover County together. Thank you.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. And I just want to bring greetings on behalf of the citizens of Wilmington on this great occasion, and recognizing the great work that Coastal Horizons has done in this community, but throughout the eastern part of North Carolina, the impact that it is having. And Margaret, to see this organization the way it has grown under your leadership has been tremendous. And I just want to say congratulations to you, to your Board of Trustees, outstanding work. But more importantly, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you that are working in our communities day in and day out on the big issues that we face as elected leaders. Substance abuse, people with mental disorder. We've been talking about these things for years and years and years, and you're actually making a big difference in our communities. We need your help, and we thank you for your public service to this great state and to our communities and our cities. I also want to say a big thank you to the state legislature, because this is the first time that we've seen something that is reoccurring in the budget, where you don't have to go back every single year, get into a big political debate whether this organization is viable for these kinds of monies or not. And Senator Lee, Representative Davis, Representative Butler, thank you for doing that big lift in Raleigh to make this happen and make this a reality, because this is now, in my opinion, the preeminent organization to tackle these issues, not only in eastern North Carolina, but throughout the state of North Carolina. Thank you, and God bless you.
Hello, everybody. Really sure. Thank you. I'm always so proud to be invited, and I am so grateful to Margaret for always remembering me. It was really nice. Since I retired, I decided I would talk about myself instead of the rest of the program. So, this agency and the board and the leaders in this county and Brunswick and those days, Brunswick and gave me my first job, except for working at the A&W root beer place as a car hop in high school. This was my first job. So I learned a lot, and the board and the staff and the leadership helped me gain skills and confidence to do a lot of things. And look what Margaret was doing. This is really amazing. I see Kenny out there, one of the people that was here with me, and I was thinking back about how generous the community has been to a program like this. The staff and leadership are important, but the community has to be generous as well. They have to agree to work with us. I think, who worked with us? Who gave us their time, their leadership, their resources, besides our staff and our volunteers? Well, I was just thinking about Mr. Bayham. I don't know if you know him. He used to be with the Longshoremen. He was one of our #1 board members. Dr. Eaton said, okay, I'll let you have the building. So over by, the old DSS office. And we had people from law enforcement, the courts, as you see them here today, the schools, UNCW, board members and people who do studies of our programs, city council, county commissioners. I was just saying the very first $14,000 this agency ever had came from the New Hanover County Commission. I thought it was a lot of money, $1,000 a month. And it worked. It worked. And we're grateful. I grew up in a military family. My dad was a B-17 command pilot in World War II. He retired as a colonel. My mom was a Marine. It might have something to do with how I am today. She did her basic training at Camp Lejeune. And my husband was a C-75th Ranger in Vietnam. So you cannot believe how excited I was when I got this notice about the new veterans program that Coastal Horizon is doing. We have always done a lot of wonderful things, and some of you are the staff of all those different projects. But this one is really close to my heart. I grew up on military bases. I moved every 3 years, so I came here and this became my home. And it is the great home to have. My daughter graduated from New Hanover High School. I changed schools every 3 years. I said, my daughter is going to go all the way through New Hanover schools, kindergarten to high school, and it made a difference. She graduated #1 in her class. She's doing great in high school. I'm not my granddaughter, excuse me, don't let me get mixed up. So I needed to just thank you all. When you did the pollinator garden last year out at the Ropes course in honor of my husband, that was really, really, really nice. And I haven't gotten over it yet. It makes me feel like I'm going to cry when I get there. So, I'm also one of the proud founders of the Governor's Working Group on the military veterans and their families. And so I'm really proud of this program. I already talked about how can I donate some money to this veterans program. I also want to take the opportunity to introduce someone. Right now in my retirement, I am the outgoing president of Addiction Professionals in North Carolina, and I would like to ask Sarah how to come up here. She's our CEO, and Superman and the rest of the staff from ABC are here. We didn't see his entrance. We have a little surprise we want to talk to you about.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is so good to see you all, and thank you for this opportunity to interrupt with a fun surprise. So for those of you who don't know, Addiction Professionals, or APNC, is your voice in Raleigh and on Capitol Hill. So to our legislators here, thank you for all the work that you do. I appreciate it. Yes, very much. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank you all for the unanimous vote for House Bill 415, which made patient brokering a Class G felony in the state of North Carolina, so thank you all. But also this week is our Member Appreciation Week. So APNC has been going around the state, and as staff of Coastal Horizons, you are our members, so we are here to appreciate you. So I'd like to ask our team of Robin Colbert, Morgan Coiner, and Michael Roberts, which is a small portion of our team, to stand up, and they are here to thank you for your work that you do. So that's the first thing that we're here for. The second thing is we are here to celebrate one of your own with an award today, and that is the Prevention Pioneer Award from APNC, which honors the idea of moving upstream to stop substance use before it starts. This person works tirelessly to educate individuals and communities, enact prevention-based policies, and keeps the health of our community's youth at the forefront. And before we tell you who it is, I'm going to give you some quotes that I pulled from our team, and then Flo will provide the actual person in this room that is here today to get this award. So I had a few different people that sent me and said, one, that they wish they could be there in person for this honor. But this person has been an inspiration since I started working in the substance use field in North Carolina. Not only are they a subject matter expert, they're a mentor, trainer, community leader, advocate, and a friend. If I ever have a prevention question, I know who to call. That's what one of our team said. Another one said that they have been working with this person since 2002, first met them at summer school and could tell right away they knew their stuff. The Regional Training Center at ECU awarded mini grants to invest in this person's passion and their programs, and they were able to see them continue their work together. And finally, one of our staff who's been with APNC for quite a while said that they were on the board of directors when they first started at APNC and have been grateful for the continued support, that they were always supportive and has been a leader for prevention in the field. And with that, I'm going to ask Flo to talk a little bit about our winner.
Well, I might not be able to talk about this one without tears, but because I think she was hired the year before I left Coastal Horizons. So I would like to recognize Deanna M. Holland to come forward and receive this award. She's one of the great leaders in our state. And Mary was she. Okay, this will take a minute. There she is.
I just want to say thank you to Coastal Horizons for all the support and opportunities that they have given me since I've been here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Dee, again on your award. Good afternoon, everyone. All right, so I'm starting to feel like my twin sister Frances, who speaks at a lot of events, and when there's not a lot of enthusiasm or talking or cheering, she says again, good afternoon, everyone. Oh my gosh, so much better, because in just a few minutes, we're going to be recognizing many of our staff who have been with us for many years. And so I want you to continue to raise that enthusiasm and support and cheer on those individuals that we are about to recognize. Before I do that, however, I just want to say thank you to our Board of Trustees, thank you, Colin, to all of our board members for all of your support for Coastal Horizons. Without you, because you are our governing body, you guide us and direct us, and we appreciate all that you do on behalf of the staff and those that we serve. Thank you also to our elected officials, both from the state as well as local. Senator Lee was very modest in his remarks earlier, but for those of you staff who do not know, because of his efforts and the support of the legislators that are here with us today, we are receiving, I'm going to go ahead and say it, right? Okay, we're going to receive $4 million for task. $2 million for our CCBHC, which is our Certified Community Behavioral Health Centers. And Representative Davis was talking about the recurring funds, and thank you again for those funds that we have for our quick response team funding. But when we get funding in the budget that's recurring, that means it's going to come every year. And we will have that for the task funding. We will have that for the CCBHC program. And we will also receive funding that, I look at Kenny House because for a few years now, he's been trying to push administration out, make more room for our behavioral health services in the Willie Stargell Office Park. And thanks to Senator Lee's efforts, we're going to receive this year and next year a total of $12 million that will help make that possible. Many of you also know that we had, I would say I won't say a struggle, but perhaps a struggle. And you know, we will fight the fight until we win. But we had a struggle of being able to get into the jails to be able to provide MAT. And we were able to do that, but we needed to have funding to support that, to be able to have the staff that could be able to do that. And I'm very pleased to say that I learned this morning, thanks to Ryan Esty sharing that news with me, because I didn't know, and I don't know whether or not Leanne Pierce or Jonathan Barfield, Commissioner Zappel, I don't even know if you are aware that that's been shared with us this morning, and that is that we are receiving another $183,000 to go into the jails for MAT. I am so proud of this organization, and I get many accolades all the time about the great work of Coastal Horizons and I as its leader. But what I always say, and will always say, is that it is because of the staff that work for the organization. It is because of you those of you that I'm looking out at now, that make this organization shine. Our annual meeting and holiday luncheon provides us with an opportunity to recognize and celebrate our amazing staff members and their years of service. For it is their earnest commitment and dedication to the clients and patients we serve that make us the leader of behavioral health services in Eastern North Carolina. I am so honored and pleased to be able to recognize them today. And I'm going to start by recognizing a group that I get the privilege of working with every day, and that is our incredible management team. As I call your name, if you will, please stand so that we might recognize you. I'm going to start with a position that we just hired for the first time in the organization's history last January. I will say it was my recommendation to the board that we proceed with this position. It was also my recommendation to the board that we proceed with hiring the person we ultimately did. I say it was my recommendation, and I say with gratitude to the board that you approved it, but I will tell you, hiring the chief operating officer, and specifically hiring Ryan Estes, was one of the best decisions I will ever make in this organization. Thank you. Now, let me just tell you, while you're applauding him and recognizing him, you can also be very happy to know that I've been with this organization for over 38 years. I promise you, so help me God, I have never, because of Ryan, worked so hard in my life. He starts every day with, I have just a few items that I need to review with you. Thank you, Ryan. We're so glad to have you back. All right, I am going to go through and call the names of our management team members, and if you will, please stand as I call your name. Bill Van Loo, our Chief Financial Officer. Eric Lutmer, Vice President of Medical Services and Corporate Compliance. Bob Jalbert, Vice President of Human Resources. Lindsay Joins, Quality Improvement Training Director and our OTP sponsor. Steve Tiedemann, our Chief Information Officer. Jennifer Burns, our Controller. Brianne Winterton, who cannot be with us in person today, but I think she's joining us virtually. She is our Crisis Intervention Services Director. Dr. Jocelyn Hunter, Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Wait, there you are, Dr. Hunter. I just want to say we're so pleased to have Dr. Hunter as our Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. And might I add, and I'm trying my best not to be political, but you all know me, I don't stay too quiet for too long. This is a position that's critically important for many organizations, for many and all communities. And believe me when I tell you, the Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion is a position that will be a part of Coastal Horizons for as long as I am part of Coastal Horizons. Elizabeth Redenbaugh, our Development Director, and I might say, thankfully, you're not being asked by Elizabeth today for money. But don't get too comfortable. We have an event coming up soon, so she'll be in touch. And last, but certainly not least, the person who keeps me straight every day, she certainly tries to, Farrah Boyce Foy, the Executive Assistant to me. And I'll tell you how much Farrah is in charge. I said to Colin, we should probably go ahead and get started. And he looked at me without batting a lash, and he said, I'm going to need to check with Farrah first. That is a true story. Thank you to our management team for all that you do for Coastal Horizons. Now I am about to recognize individuals who have been with the organization for milestone years. As we celebrate 53 years in operation, it too is a time to celebrate our incredible and conscientious staff who are the boots on the ground every day. Our patients and clients are served by a qualified, and as Representative Butler said, we provide evidence-based services, always. A qualified, committed and caring staff who provide a continuum of excellent and quality services. These individuals who are about to be recognized have been employed with Coastal Horizons in milestone years. We do it by 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, and so on. So the ones that you will hear today have reached those milestones. And so I would like to start by recognizing those who have been with us now for 5 years. As I call your name, please stand, and if you will, please hold your applause until I get through going through all of the names. I'm also going to say I apologize if I mispronounce anyone's name. That happens on occasion. I have to deal with it myself sometimes. I'm called Marguerite. I'm called Stargale, Stargale, Starlight. And if they really get it wrong, they call me Francis. Our 5-year employees are Celeste Allemond, Megan Ashley, Tina Bloodworth, Candace Bracey, Kelly Collier, Amanda Crow, Christopher Daniel, David Davis, Ross Davis, Kristen Duvall, Sonia DeWitt, Lori Fisher Mischel, Elizabeth Gainey. I'm sorry, Farrah is still running the show. As I call your name, if you will, please come forward so that you can get your pen. So don't just stand up as I ask you to do. Do what Farrah says and come forward. So I think that I stopped with Kathleen Green, Jeffrey Harmon, Christy Hill, Ebony Jones, Lindsay Johnson, Marjorie Justice, Amanda Kazi, Elizabeth Kenny, Catherine Kent, Samantha Kiger, Christina Lanier, Tiana Lanier, Paulette Lanch, Cassandra Maldonado, Nicole Martinez, Angela Melvin, Matt Mitchell, Teresa Mobley, Kayla Music, Suzanne Nardozzi, Michelle Nixon, Janice Padron, Ruth Ann Palumbo, Lauren Pilato, Jasmine Rivera, Orlando Rivera, Terry Rose, Heather Rubino, Deborah Silva, Ashley Stabley, Maxie Strickland, Pam Sutton, Tim West, Timothy West, and Haley Winborn. Please join me in congratulating these employees who have been with us for 5 years. And while we're waiting for our photographer, our amazing photographer, John Davis, to take photos of our 5-year employees. I just want to say that, you know, there are several of our employees that I have not met yet. We're across 57 counties. And, you know, you want to be able to say that you know everyone. And Flo, you know that back in the day, you knew everyone's first and last name. You probably even knew their middle name. It's very difficult to do that now. And while I might feel bad about that, Bob Jalbert made me feel better this morning because he was looking around the room and I said, "Is everything okay?" And he said, and this is our Vice President of Human Resources, he said, "I just don't think I know everybody." So we will make a point of getting to know those of you who have joined us recently and those of you that I have not yet had the pleasure of meeting personally, but thank you for all that you do for Coastal Horizons. And with that, I'm going to wait for Farrah to instruct me as to when I can proceed. I can continue, ma'am? Thank you. Next, we will recognize those employees who have been with us. Next, we're recognizing those employees who have been with us for 10 years. And they will come up, please, to receive their pins and plaques. Again, if you will hold your applause until I've called all of their names. Allison LaBarbera, Rachel Krause, Brianne Winterton, again, Brianne can't be with us today, Charles Barrett, Anna Foy, Nassim Khan, Josh May, Mandy Mitchell, Michelle Hickman, Shanita Manley, Nicole Spence, Lindsay Joins, Jonathan Anthony Bukowski, Brent Overman, Kristen Williams, who also cannot be with us today, and Christina Carter. Please join me in congratulating these employees who've been with us for 10 years. As they are receiving their pens and plaques, I am going to continue to proceed with recognizing 2 individuals who have been with us for 15 years. And if you will, please come forward as I call your names. Cassandra Bannerman, who is our medical records assistant, and Sylvia Grooms, who is a task field specialist. Congratulations on 15 years. This afternoon, we have the privilege of recognizing an individual who has been with us for 20 years. Paul Hoffman is the Administrative Assistant for the Task Training Institute, better known as TTI. And he has been in that position for nearly 21 of the 22 years that TTI has been in existence. Paul is the keeper of the numbers for TTI. He maintains decades of training records for thousands of North Carolina task and DWI facility staff. He maintains the TTI financial records, processing the financials for TTI and the Justice Services reentry programs, and is always ready to help wherever needed. it is my privilege and honor to recognize Paul on 20 years of service. Thank you, Paul. Thank you again, Paul, for 20 years at Coastal Horizons. And finally, I come to the award that we have every year. And this award is given in recognition of the founder of this organization, and that is our very own Flo Stein. We established the Flo Stein Award in her name and in her honor. The commitment and perseverance of a hardworking staff is at the core. Flo Stein has always understood the necessity of working hard, pushing forward, and staying focused with the vision and purpose to assist the most vulnerable people in our communities. And it is so for this reason that we established the Flo Stein Award. We are pleased that Flo Stein Award, she joins us every year, even in her retirement, to join us for this presentation. So thank you again and always, Flo, for being here. At Coastal Horizons Center, we define the recipient of the Flo Stein Award as an individual who has made a significant contribution both in their job and in their community. This individual is nominated by staff as an employee who consistently goes beyond the call of duty in making a significant impact on the lives of others. I would like to recognize the following 15 staff members who were nominated this year. And I would ask you to stand and remain standing until each nominee's name is called. Kayla Beard, Task Care Manager. Malachi Bennett, Recidivism Reduction Services Area Coordinator. Beth Deal, Family Centered Treatment Therapist. Janie Dowler, Rape Crisis, Rape Prevention Education Coordinator. Casey Fallon, Physician's Assistant. Michelle Hernandez, OTP Dosing Nurse. Elizabeth Kenny, Medical Assistant. Samantha Kiger, Assistant Program Director for New Hanover Outpatient Treatment. Amanda King, Outpatient Therapist. Josh Main, Intensive Family Preservation State Program Coordinator. Jason Myers, Family Center Treatment Supervisor. Charles Pigford, Reentry Services Coordinator. Lakita Robinson, Intensive Family Preservation Specialist. Candace Small, Justice Services Clinical Director. And Amy Williams, Family Center Treatment Trainer. Congratulations to all of you on being nominees for the Flo Stein Award this year. You're all winners, and we're all very thankful for all that you do every day for Coastal Horizons. And today you've been recognized by your peers in doing so. Now we recognize the winner of the Flo Stein Award for 2023. This year's recipient has been employed at Coastal Horizons since 2018, but their impact makes it feel longer, as this person is described by their peers as having a heart and passion to work with anyone that needs substance use or mental health treatment. This individual is often the first person in the office in the morning, and a steady stream of clients and staff go to their door to seek resources, advice, or just a compassionate word. This is just one example of the ways to measure this person's impact. This person works tirelessly in the community as part of the quick response team, educating others on the importance of Narcan availability, reducing stigma, and ensuring that every person they encounter knows they are worthy. Authentic, caring, and this individual embodies the motto that this year's winner has become known for throughout the organization, and that is, I quote, "Be a good human." End of quote. Inspiring all of us every day to remember why our work is so important, and to remember that our words are sometimes the most important thing we have when someone shows up in need. I'm going to try to get through reading this one because Farrah will tell you I've read through this a few times and it gets to me every time, but this certainly speaks to the person you are about to celebrate and recognize. One story that embodies the heart of who this person is occurred just this month. Despite coming in at 7 a.m., this year's winner stayed late because it was important to them to finalize a project. Despite the long day, after packing up to leave the office and heading out to the parking lot, this person encountered an individual who was intoxicated and clearly distressed. The staff member thought nothing of this and looked at their cohort and said, and I quote, "Text my spouse that I'll be late." And then proceeded to sit on the curb in the dark to speak hope into this gentleman. This year's recipient found him food, encouraged him to enroll into treatment, and close to 3 hours later, when he agreed to go to a crisis center, this individual even convinced the police who were coming to transport them to the crisis center to do so compassionately and without handcuffs, if at all possible, because they knew he was just scared. We later found out that this year's recipient had left their spouse and their parents at a restaurant the entire time because it was important to them to enact change in this gentleman's life. The response we got back from this year's recipient's spouse on the matter was simply, and I quote, "She is an incredible human, isn't she?" Nikki, all of us at Coastal Horizons couldn't agree with you more. And we're very pleased that you are here to surprise this year's recipient as we, with great pleasure, announce that the Flowstein Award winner this year is Samantha Kiger. All right, so where is Nikki? Okay, Nikki, come up and get a picture too. Thank you for sharing Sam with us, and thank you for allowing her to be late for dinners on occasion. Before I sit down, I just want to say, Mayor Saffo said earlier that this organization is the preeminent organization in our community. And it's one that I'm very proud of, and it's one that, as Kenny House said many years ago, and I continue to repeat what he says because it is so true. Coastal Horizons is an organization our community can always be proud is here. Thank you.
Incredible. Well, man, that was great. Thank you guys very much for your service. Thanks to all of the employees. I just wanted to say a couple things real quick, and I'm going to take us way back in the time machine, back to the dark old days of 2020 and the pandemic. The leadership in this organization is amazing, and I've worked in other large organizations with lots of personalities and theories and thoughts, and working with this, as I said earlier, board of directors, sometimes I truly feel like the least intelligent person in the room, and I learn a lot and I glean a lot, but also as a board member have been like to try to affect a response or try to create some better through our work in the board of trustees. And I remember during 2020 we had some pretty tough decisions to make, as all large organizations did. But we were meeting, our board meetings were on Zoom, and I remember several times the word furlough came up, the thoughts of having to figure out how this organization was going to continue to make it through those dark days. It was pretty tough. I mean, we were meeting, and sometimes weekly, to try to figure out how to navigate the pandemic. And Margaret dug her heels, big, beautiful, 4-inch heels, deep into the ground on that issue, and said basically to the board as a whole and to the people tasked with making these hard decisions as to how we would stay solvent through some pretty tough times when there weren't millions of dollars flowing from the state government. And she said, we're not losing anybody. There are going to be no furloughs. There's going to be no one laid off. There's going to be no problem with that, and being fiscally conservative and looking at the balance sheet as it was at that time, it seemed like that would be a task which would leave us in a ruin. But her foresight and willingness to put the business of Coastal Horizons on her shoulder, the buck stops there, gave all of us a lot of confidence that we would follow and continue to move through. And so this day is so much different than those Zoom meetings in 2020. But I just wanted to thank you personally and from the rest of the board for being the strong leader that you are. It's a lot of people have it twisted. It is not just a pretty face. It is not a figurehead. This is a woman that commands respect because she leads by example. So please help me thank Margaret Welsh. Before we adjourn and ask Jonathan to come up here for the benediction, I just wanted to let everyone know that following this, you're welcome to take the orchard pieces, the centerpieces with you. If you have a brown thumb like in my family, then maybe you give it to somebody who's better suited to take those flowers with you. And Jonathan, if you would please take us home.
Will everyone please stand? Those that can, please stand. What a great day, what a great celebration, what a great way to honor. The Bible says that your gift will make room for you. If we've honored many in this room tonight, today, we recognize the many gifts that you all have, the gift of health, the gift of healing, the gift of compassion, and the gift of love has made room to save lives in our community. We thank you. Will you bow your heads with me? May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. Amen.
Meeting's adjourned. Thank you all.
Would you bring it back here? Lean the back.